Hey everybody, this is James Lichtenberger, Gina's husband, and I wanted to make a video series before I forget everything from my men's advanced training that I did in Dallas about a month ago. One of the first things I wanted to talk about was how to help your wife with just some real basic things in this business, maybe some pitfalls to avoid. And I'll just jump right into it without much introduction. One of the biggest things that I used to do that used to cause problems and tick my wife off is sometimes she would be on the phone for what seemed to me to be like 5 straight hours with no break. It was never that long, but it felt like it to me. And meanwhile, dinner is being made, kids are screaming, diapers need to be changed, all kinds of issues here and there. And sometimes when we know our spouse is home, we're like, I need to bail out here, whatever. Maybe you've just come home from work and your wife's on the phone and you're like, why is the house a disaster? Why is there no food on the table? Yada, yada. Well, chances are she's working on her Young Living business, which is a good thing. Maybe it doesn't seem like it at first, but after a while, when she starts making money, you will definitely think it's a good thing. But anyway, so when your wife's on the phone and she's talking Young Living and you know that, the first step is to not interrupt her. Don't distract her. Don't interrupt her. Don't tell her she needs to get off the phone. Don't come track her down and hover over her. Speaking from experience, I've done all those things. Sometimes out of irritation, sometimes out of curiosity. I used to say, "Who are you talking to?" So I could at least know if it was a Young Living call or if it was just a personal call, that sort of thing. So that's one thing you can do. It's so easy to distract them from their conversation and then they won't get done and it won't get accomplished what they want to accomplish. And you never know, maybe that's the person that your wife is trying to sign up that could just be an outrageous business builder and just do really well in the business. So never just guess or assume that it's not an important phone call. The second thing that I think is important is if your wife does go to a Young Living event or a Young Living retreat or an Essential Families thing or whatever, and she's gone for a day or for an hour or for an afternoon or whatever, whatever you do, don't call her and make her feel guilty during the trip. Don't unload the worst case scenario things that have happened while she's been gone on her, because what that does is it takes away from her focus and it brings the focus back on why she should be home and why she shouldn't have taken the trip anyway and blah blah blah. And so it becomes a big guilt factor. And when Gina first started doing these things, they went really smoothly for me, and then we had Berkeley and it got a little bit harder with the baby. So there were a few times that I was just being inquisitive and I mentioned a few things that had happened around here, nothing major, and it got her thinking that I was trying to make her feel guilty, which wasn't true because I'm perfect and I would never do that to her. But anyway, just avoid bringing what's going on at home, unless, of course, it's a ridiculous emergency, into their life. Let them have that time to focus, to engage, to learn, to get everything they can. But besides, you're spending the money doing it, so you might as well, they might as well get the most out of it. And then when they return home, don't turn around and dump, the kids and everybody else on them. Give them a chance to transition back in as much as you would expect a chance to transition back in when you're away on a business trip or whatever, those sorts of things. Sorry. In our neighborhood, we have an open door policy, and a neighbor kid just came in the door and got in my face. So anyway, those are a couple of things that can help. Try to keep this under 5 minutes, so I'll try to be quick here. I just got majorly distracted, so let me get back on target. As far as working together with your wife, a lot of men start out just going in and helping their wife set up for meetings or whatever. And they're trying to help, they're trying to be encouraging, and they're also trying to solve all their wife's problems for them. And a lot of times we just don't have the information as men that haven't been immersed in this business day in and day out like our wives are. So I would avoid trying to give too much advice to your wife at first, even though you may be excellent at sales or you may be excellent at people skills. There's so many different things that go into this business, and multi-level marketing is very interesting. And so I would say just err on the side of just listening, and if your opinion is asked, or if you really feel like that you have something of value to add, I would do it in a kind and loving way, and just to encourage and to build her up, and not to try to solve her problems, because oftentimes that just gets us into big fights. So anyway, just a couple of tidbits here. Hope these have been helpful. I'm going to continue on adding new things as I get a chance. Talk to y'all later. Bye.